Right, cool. We're live. So we thought we'd take a bit of time out of Build 2020 and do a bit of a PacMan review while we're waiting for another session to start. So we've got a couple of pull requests, which mostly came from David. I committed some stuff to the last one, but let's go through them one by one. So we got the refactoring the coins and pills.
Yes, so this was at the end of the last session. We ended up with some sort of hacky code in the game class. So which was...
Was this to remove the?
Yeah, it was this. It had like this. Yeah, died check. So the problem was if you So the problem was if you moved and got if you got killed, and then you moved and ate a coin, then you didn't want that coin event to fire. Well, you didn't want the coin to be collected.
Yeah, so then we moved this to the state machine, haven't we?
Yeah.
So everything just raises the event and the state machine when it's in the certain state will just handle them conditions.
Yes, and then rename the event to be coin collision and power pill collision, because it means that you've collided with the power pill or the coin, but you haven't actually necessarily eaten it.
Yeah, which makes total sense. That's cool.
So that actually introduces a bug, I think, which is fixing a future PR, which is, I think it's one of those methods is asynchronous, but we're calling it synchronously, which is the only reason this PR actually works.
Yeah, I guess we merge it in and see the next one. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's kind of the gotcha what we had last time when there was an exception being thrown and we never caught it because we didn't never waited on the task.
Yeah.
Which is, so this is move coins and power pills to game state.
Yes. So this is the idea of all changeable states should be in the game state class, and previously we had some states such as the pills we've collected and the coins we collected were sat in the game object.
Yeah. Tickle them.
And it's also changed. So instead of it, also every time we were calling power pills, we were taking the list of original power pills and subtracting the ones we've collected. Likewise with the coins. But I was figuring it's simpler not to do that. But also I think because that's going to be called from the render loop, that's happening, several times per second.
Yeah.
And we're allocating a new object each time, so it's probably better not to do that.
Yeah, I think we discussed saying that was it was just a kind of introduce itself by us just kind of building it up slowly, and then we didn't really refactor it away or kind of change it around. So we had all the coins and kept subtracting what we've collected to show the ones that are left, when we could just show the ones that are left.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so then things like I renamed the try as died method to be. Oh yeah. So previously we were just finding we were assuming a square would only had a single ghost, and now it can return all the ghosts in a square.
Yeah. Which makes sense. Then we can iterate over them all.
Yep.
And then these other things have just moved.
Yes. Yep.
So we got them. That's moved onto the state.
Yep.
What's this one? Show ghost.
I think that's just renaming the. I think it's picked up some changes from the previous PR, maybe. Oh yeah, and that's where I do the atomic. You just change.
These ones. Yeah.
So you can't, unfortunately, just remove an item straight from the list, because the UI can be iterating over the list at the time. So you have to create a new list without that item in and then assign it back.
Yeah. Makes sense. Any more changes here? What are the test changes? Oh, you just move them up.
Yes.
So they're just refactoring to use the location cell and doing the below and below instead of actually
the main reason
saying.
for doing that is it's a slight change in behavior where before we were defining the coins after the game has started, but now you need to define the coins before the game starts.
Oh, is that? Yeah, because that's because we don't recalculate them on every single time you ask for it. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and yeah, whenever a test break like that, I tidied it up as well with the below and so on.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I think that it just reads so much nicer of saying, well, should not contain the coins where the PacMan starts below it.
Yeah.
It's better than just arbitrary kind of numbers everywhere. Yeah. That's one of the good refactorings. Yeah, that was cool. Let's get that made in. Oh, it's on the last one. It just thinks it's still sticking around. I'll clear the branches later. Maybe I'll leave them hanging around.
Yeah. I wonder if it's because I rebased it actually, that maybe it then it's got confused. I don't know.
Did you branch off one of the pull branch off the branch?
I branched off the pull request, but then I don't know. You'd think it would have sort of collapsed that in by now, but
yeah, it's a bit confusing. So this is like seems to have gone in okay.
Yeah.
So this has got.
Oh yeah, so this was just a tidy up on the ghosts really, because when we mutate PacMan, we have a with method where you can pass in a new X or Y or direction or so on. So I just added similar functions to Ghost.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, with the return null, I think that's fine because I think we could end up with a strategy which would be null, even though the game doesn't. Well, the game supports it, but we don't have one which is. So
yeah.
I think that's fine, and it allows us to test it, and then having something to allow us to test it is pretty much how we kind of build the game up anyway, don't we? So we only kind of give it certain. We build it in a certain way to make it testable, I suppose.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's just that's the only reason you got that if statement in there because.
Yeah.
You can never
well, we test both conditions anyway, don't we? So even if we didn't, it wouldn't make any difference.
No.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So just some new withs. So because we change strategy and direction at once, I just had a single method where you can pass both in and so on.
Yeah.
Because you could have done with new strategy dot with new direction would be the way of doing it.
Yeah. But it would mean to create two of them, I suppose.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. That's cool. Let's write that as well. And then the last one.
It might be easier to do commit by commit on this one because there's quite a lot changed. We start the. See, it hasn't. Yeah.
Oh, this is the top this time. That's a bit confusing.
Yeah, they're the ones we've already done, aren't they?
Practical, yeah. So it doesn't understand any of them.
I think it's move Ghost and PacMan to the game state downwards.
I wonder if we. Which one's branch this? More game state. Yeah, so I'll just merge master back into this.
Okay.
So maybe. Does it end up with. No, it seems like we still have the change from the other ones.
Yeah, if you just click on the actual commit, you can see. Can't you? We just do one at a time.
It's confusing.
So yeah, we do move ghosts and PacMan to game state. I think that's the first one. Yes, the idea was then putting all state on into the game state object, because we still had a few things left in game, such as the list of ghosts and PacMan itself.
Yeah. Yeah, so we end up with an actions class, which just has a bunch of actions what our game can do, and that's the one what modifies the state.
Yes.
It's nice because we can move. I quite like how we move these into we moved these into state, didn't we?
Yes, in the next PR.
Yeah.
For the next.
Yeah. So yeah, because I commented on them. Yeah. So that's just a bunch of stuff going on.
Yeah. I think if you go to the bottom, there's some keyboard shortcut to change. There we are. N and P. So N, I guess, to go to the next commit.
Oh, I didn't know that exists. Oh, this is when when you get notifications and you click through it. I didn't realize you can actually. It's got previous and next.
Right.
It just showed, because every time you committed, I just clicked on the notification and it sent me directly to the commit of what you've just changed.
Right.
I didn't realize you could actually navigate the changes as well.
That's quite good actually.
Yeah.
So this bit here is because we sometimes raise events when the state machine's not in a valid state. So for example, if PacMan's dying, it's still possible for us to raise a coin collision event.
Yeah.
In which case we just want to ignore that.
Yeah. And there's like a no keyword, no activity, I think it is. So by default, this throws an exception if you don't handle it. So if you remove that out, it just throw an exception because that's not a valid event in that state. So we could just say ignore that and it doesn't throw an exception and we just keep the same state, which is quite
and it reads quite nice in the state machine because it's that when dying or during dying, then ignore coin collisions. So that's quite nice.
Was this the one where he moves?
Yes, this is slowly moving stuff into the game states. Only the ultimate goal was any state changes were made by methods within the game state class.
Yeah. It's starting to make things private in here.
Yeah.
And having other methods on there.
Yeah, so including recording the ticks and so
on. So anything modifying the state is now going to just live it inside the state. So it knows how to change itself.
Yes.
So everything's nice and descriptive, which is cool. And then the next one, encapsulate ghost state. Yeah, so that's just apply ghosts into the state object.
Yeah, so it turned out the only time you've actually modified ghost was in that apply to ghost method. So I could just pick that method up and move it, which is quite nice.
Yeah. It's quite cool. And then what's the next one?
And then the final one was then to move PacMan into the game state as well. So I refactored the code slightly for this, which I think it actually reads a bit better now. So before we used to call PacMan.move, which moved in one square in his current direction.
Yeah.
But that's just the same as doing location plus direction because we've got that overload.
Yeah.
And so that was the first bit. And then we check to see whether he's just walked into a portal. And so if he has, then so it's like line 71 now. So you say his new location is the other end of the portal plus one square in the direction he's currently facing. So I think that actually reads a bit better.
So this one, yeah. So, yeah, that actually makes sense. Yeah, instead of calling move twice, because that doesn't.
Yeah.
You assume his direction at that point.
Yeah. So up to this point, we haven't actually mutated PacMan now. All we've done is worked out his new location.
Yeah.
We then check he's not walked into a wall. And at that point, we can then mutate him to say, move him to this new location, which is line 76.
Yeah.
So that's actually the only time now we change his state, which is quite nice.
Yeah. And then we raise the rest of them if he's collected a coin and the thing if they're on them places. It's quite nice. And that's done by passing the context through into this and the state machine. So. That's cool. That's good.
There is one action that's a little weird because you pass game all the way through, which one is it?
Pass game.
Yeah, one of them actually needs a game. I think it's move ghost.
Oh, is that because he needs to know the state of other things?
Yeah, it's because he needs to know where other ghosts are, because there's one where it's got a strategy involving another ghost, and also where PacMan is.
I suppose you could just pass maybe them two in.
Yeah, it was just quite far down. It's in all those interfaces and so on.
Yeah. Okay. And this is the one what I just changed a minute ago. So I made it so the game now only has a read-only game state.
Okay.
That's all it's exposing.
Yep.
And when it news it up, I create a instance lift on the state machine with that game state. So then we only store the that game state on here, and this one is just used for the ticks.
Okay.
I also made so these were already read only, so we don't need to expose them as read only.
Okay.
Because they're already read only on their state. And then in the tick, this just goes to the game state machine instance because it knows about the current state that it's like the current state of that game state, and then just calls tick on it instead, so it doesn't need to keep passing the game state in.
Okay, that's nice.
There was this weird method, which I feel like shouldn't be here or should be based on an event. So because this modifies the game state, which I wouldn't assume it should do, I assume we should have an event what says change direction.
Yeah.
And then the state machine deals with that. But at the moment, I just cast it to the game state, which is a bit of a hack. But
yeah, you're right. Yeah, because that's the user input, which is still just an event. Yep.
Yeah. So I feel that should be just an event, and it shouldn't modify the state itself.
I don't know. Just call an action straight away.
Yeah, because we should still be able to check the wall, but then we just remove. All of that
can go in an action, can't it?
Yeah. So you have an event saying change direction, and if they can change direction, we change it. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, which just meant
in fact that's going to work better because then if you're not in a live state or something, then you shouldn't be able to use the keyboard, or if you're on the scoreboard, then the keyboard will do something different.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So that would be handled by the state engine then.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so that's meant changing these to be interfaces, and then that's pretty much it. And then just
that's good.
propagated through because I thought that would be a bit better. I just still a bit weird. Like I feel like these should all just be coupled together, and we should just say, go create me a game state instance and only return back a few things what we need to use in here. But because it actually uses the game state up itself, so in there it could just plumb around with it. But then anything else on here can't touch the actual state of it.
Yeah, it's getting better though. I think. Yeah.
But yeah, but that's it.
Yeah, might as well merge something.
Cool, and that's it. I'm just going to clean up all the branches.
I raised some issues as well.
I should look at them. So,
what did I add?
What we got?
I did increase the player's score after eating a ghost.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Which we discussed. Yeah, so every time you eat another ghost, it doubles the number of points.
Yeah.
Up to fourth one. Yeah, your table can actually stop after 3, but.
Yeah. I was like thinking in my head, trying to work it out actually, because like this is possible. I know this is possible actually doing this. Is like basic maths, and I ended up like, and I couldn't work it out because I was trying to just use a calculator on the computer, and I ended up like putting it into Excel and then writing the formula, and that's why I got 10 because I just dragged the cell down just to make sure it worked, and I was like, that's it, that works. I was like, oh, God, basic maths is like really hard. It's quite funny, but yeah, that should be.
Yes, the only thing is, yeah, why do I say this? Yes, so I can't remember why I decided you had to add a method to return the number of edible ghosts.
Well, I think you wanted to say if you took.
It might be easier than that now. It's on the game state. I think that was the problem. I think you didn't have access to the list of ghosts before, and probably now it does.
Yeah, probably, yeah. That makes sense. So then you should be able to just pretty much just create that formula, integrate in the count.
Yeah.
Done. Was there another one? Ghost should change direction when eating power pills. That's one of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty explanatory.
Yeah. The top one's more interesting. Yeah. So yeah, if you've got a cell that contains two ghosts, one's in an edible state and one isn't, then you probably should die.
Yeah.
So, because at the moment it's going to be a bit random, because when we do get ghosts which have collided with PacMan, it's whichever one comes out first it's going to be the first action that happens.
Yeah.
So this is going to be one of these where the fix is pretty straightforward in that it's just a question of ordering the ghosts so the editable ones are first. But writing the test is going to be quite interesting.
Yes, we should be able to place them on two on one square.
Yeah, you have to have killed one, have it regenerate, and then have it eat you.
We can start them off as not edible though, so we can say one is edible and one is not edible.
Ghost?
Yeah, and you can place them on the board like that, and then we can just like walk into both ghosts.
That's okay. That's not too bad then.
So in theory, we could have like 4 on the test, one each one. So then, oh no, we'd have to have a test with one at each side, wouldn't we? Like one on top of the other one. Yeah, cool. I guess we go through them on Friday. If we have an
session on Friday.
So they're quite good ones to work on. But if anybody fancies picking them up, I don't think anybody's on the stream, but if anybody re-watches the video, then feel free to pick them up if you fancy picking their issue up.
I did briefly consider creating a, let me get my notes here, a win-get package. So
using
win-get.
Yeah, that's true. Now
you have to generate an MSI for it first, though, so I'd have to do that.
That doesn't take very long with a, what's it called? I can't remember the name.
Wix or
Wix. Yeah, one of them things. Yeah, it'd be quite good to get it in the I don't know, the Microsoft Store or whatever. If we can port it over to that or something, that'd be quite cool.
Yeah, I'll create an issue for it now.
Yeah.
What about does this new can you use the new stuff yet? Or?
No, it's in preview. It's going to be like in preview in .NET 5, and then once it's released, it's going to be GA'd in .NET 6. So that's end of next year. So it's got a while to go. But it's all building up to it, to be fair.
Yeah.
But then again, there's no reason why you couldn't run it on a preview version.
No.
That'd work perfectly fine. Be interesting how we draw all the stuff and things like that.
Yeah.
Because then, in theory, if we use all that stuff, then it's going to be for Windows, mobile, across Android and iOS.
Yeah.
Which should be quite cool, actually. Push to app stores as well.
Yeah. I also wonder whether it'll work on my running watch, but that might be a bit ambitious.
Yeah, that's true. Cool.
Right. I think that's probably it for now, isn't it?
I'm going to drop back into watching Hanselman's talk on build.
Okay. Right. Okay. Right. Thanks. I'll see you later.
Well, catch you later.